It doesn't scare me, but
No.
anyway. So yeah. So I thought, okay, first Q&A. This is my handwriting. I'm left-handed.
Okay. So am I.
Are you?
Absolutely.
No way.
Yeah. So is my son.
I have to.
Mm-hmm.
You're left-handed?
Big time. We're trying out different sets because we want to bring people here.
Yes. We want to bring people onto the show.
Yeah, that's the...
Come talk to us.
So we're a little discombobulated today.
No, good morning. Hello.
And...
or afternoon, wherever you are.
Yeah, we're just messing around. We're not way up off the ground. We're in regular chairs and
How are you today, Brian?
I'm good. I'm back to basketball practice. We had all last week was canceled.
Oh no.
We had the snow days.
Oh yeah.
Which didn't really amount to anything. They canceled our game.
Oh no.
So my boys are like ready to like explode on the court. So finally today we're back to practice to get ready for this week's game.
Good.
Oh, I posted the casting notice to Roosters.
Yes, I saw that.
You can't lock me away, boy. I'm gonna be with you forever.
Are you getting a lot of response?
Oh gosh. Last time I looked it was 642 submissions.
Did Matt Damon answer you?
No, he didn't respond yet. But
Bradley Cooper.
well, Bradley Cooper,
Too young?
it's a conflict. We can't get him because he's doing something else.
Okay. I love it.
No, so
where can they find it? Just in case you are an actor watching this?
it's on Backstage. Everything's on Backstage.
Backstage. Okay.
They know what that means. And there's going to be so many characters. That's why this is going to be a lot of fun for people because it's not like The Hit or other things where it's like, okay, I need 4 people.
It's going to be a lot of characters.
And we're developing the characters along the way. So it's like if we find, and what happened to me in The Hit when I got Leora, who played Helen.
Yeah.
She was so good. I added that part.
Let's talk about Billy.
What about him? He has nothing to do with any of this.
Well, Kinderman states right here in his notes that Billy was a suspect in your husband's misfortune.
Well, that was a misunderstanding.
Wasn't Billy expelled from school for threatening his teacher?
Yes. That was a misunderstanding.
Okay, let's see here. Billy reportedly told his teacher that he was going to cut off her head and mail it to her mother in a hat box. What was the misunderstanding?
It was a cake box, Detective, not a hat box. My Billy loves his cake.
You don't see a problem with that, ma'am?
No, he was defending my honor. Stories were flying around town about his father. His teacher was saying things about me. He did what any good son would do. You see, I not only have a wonderful son, I have a best friend.
Can I speak to Billy?
No, he's not feeling well. He's ill. He's resting.
Gonna say.
I was like, I need to see her again.
It's like, you know, I'm a huge David Lynch fan. Like that happened in Twin Peaks originally. You know, the character who plays Laura Palmer.
Yeah.
Was so good that they added the character of Maddie, her
Yeah,
cousin,
exactly. And
who had black hair instead of blonde hair.
Yeah.
It was exactly the same person. But David Lynch added her because she was so good.
Yes, and that's what's so fun about it. So like I have several different people that we're approaching, and if it works out, then we'll dive deeper into their character.
Right. See how good see how they run with it.
Yeah, so
That's how I got this job, people. Thousands of people.
Thousands.
And he picked me.
I picked you. You're the
Okay,
only
no, that's
one.
really
I didn't
not
even.
true.
You didn't even have to audition.
It's so not true. I wrote him an email and was like, please.
Yeah, she.
I begged him. I admit it. Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
So basically, here we are.
Here we are.
Let's continue.
I'd like to start with some questions
and answers.
Yeah,
We're getting a lot of questions, and we're not doing the answers.
Exactly. And I felt really badly about this because it was from episode 2. And now we're on I said I was going to do it.
Oh, yeah. 4.
Episode 4 here,
Episode
folks.
4.
We're really excited about it. This is going to be a really good one.
All right.
This is the one
Give
I'm
me
most
one.
excited about so far. So the first, I'm just going to go through them really quickly, and I'm going to pretend I don't need reading glasses. Like
I have a few.
My friend.
I have a few if you need any.
Okay, so we were taught, this says, okay, here we go. I thought the discussion of psychic energy, poltergeist, psychokinesis, and thought forms was fascinating. Thank you. And the link of poltergeists and teenage girls, it made me wonder about the Salem witch trials. Never 100% convincingly explained according to the scholars, even though we have all the info on hallucinatory rotten rye, the envy, and the revenge of the townsfolk, and so on. Who doesn't find Salem moving? I don't think you're alive if you don't find Salem disturbing and moving.
How many times have you been there?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4. Yeah, and it's people don't find it as tough as I do. I find it a really tough place to go.
It is, yeah.
Maybe I was a witch in a past life or something, but I had this visceral reaction. It's very difficult for me to go there. Why not as an explanation? I mean, there's that whole mass hysteria explanation, which I think is a really good one. It's probably the most likely in my opinion, but I'm not a psychologist. I just play one here.
You play one on TV?
I play one on the Ghost of Somerville. But I really love that idea. Why not? These were young girls. And the most common poltergeist activity comes from young teenage girls.
And why is that?
I think changes that they're going through, emotions. It could be boys too, but we do find that it's girls more often. We're not being sexist as investigators. It just tends to be girls. And I have seen in investigations 18-year-old girls, 16-year-old girls having so much activity around them.
Okay.
And I've seen investigations where we literally take them out of the house and everything stops.
Just like that.
Unbelievable. Yeah, just like that. It's them. There's no ghost. So yeah, so why not? I mean, these girls who were, a lot of it I think was theatrics.
Yeah.
Going back to that, in Salem, laying on the floor, flailing. I've been cursed and all that.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, great idea. No one's ever said that to me, and I really like that idea. Could be. Okay, second, love the trailer of The Hid. Awesome. Let's give The Hid some love. Okay, so thank you, Tales Told in the Dark. Love it. I'll share you guys all over. Thank you for that. I also wonder if the concept of thought forms is related to people's experiences with the effects of prayer or curses. Let me think of that. So thought forms, which is my thing, which is my real focus lately, related to people's experience with the effects of prayer or curses. I definitely think that people can, I think people who say they're cursed, I say, you know what? I don't think you're worth it. And that sounds like a mean thing to say, but take that as a good thing. That no one, if someone's going to hit you with a whopper of a curse, you're going to have done something really bad kind of thing, or you're going to really deserve it. So I always say, go back to, non-paranormal things and think, sometimes people just have a bad day. Or sometimes people have a bad streak before you go to I'm cursed.
Yeah.
Right away.
Absolutely.
If you believe in curses and that kind of thing. But if someone's going to hit you with a curse, I would think you would have deserved it. You would really have done something really bad. So.
And how would they hit you with a curse? What kind of power does that person have?
Yeah. And for them to take that time, I don't know. Yeah, I would say don't start at curses.
No.
Start with I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If that's the question, but I'm trying to relate that to thought forms. But I think that's what you mean. This is actually from the Sea Spicer, who's given us a lot of questions. I think that's what you meant with curses. You know, are you deciding that you're cursed and everything is bad now?
Yeah.
You know, going from there.
It's the old why me scenario.
Manifesting bad things because you think you're cursed. I think that's what she means.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, I think it's like anything else, right? It's your energy.
Everything is your energy.
You know, if you think positive, positive things happen.
I always think positive. You know that.
Yeah, you have to.
He's overwhelmed by me
You have
half
to.
the
What
time.
choice do you have?
Yeah.
You can't sit here and...
No. Both of us. We connect on that. We are so positive. I'm a very happy, positive person.
I think it's okay to be upset about something
Sure.
or down about something
Sure.
or even feel sorry for yourself for a slight period. But I
Yeah,
I think it's healthy
for a
to
day.
say, okay, I'm going to give myself an hour to be upset about it.
Oh, I say a day. Good for you.
Yeah,
An hour.
and then I get up and brush it off. You know?
Always.
You have to reinvent yourself in your career, in your life, and
Right.
if this happens, okay, well, I'll do this.
Exactly. And you're so good at that.
Yeah, that's all I do
Roll
is
with the
reinvent
changes.
myself. Yeah,
You're
have
so
to.
good at that. I mean, sometimes I think about my own life. I mean, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had, you know, lots of bad things happen, you know. I had a brain tumor, all this kind of thing. And you could really go down that.
On the way you're leaving in the
You
hospital.
could go down that. Yeah, you're right. And then, yeah, I'm leaving the hospital with my brain tumor removed, going for radiation, and I have a blood clot in my lung and stop breathing, and I just stop, and I need to be
And
revived.
you woke up
and
with what, 75 people?
75 doctors around me. Exactly. But, you know, here I am. So, I
And
don't know.
you said
I just go
that
forward.
experience, you didn't see anything, but you heard.
Oh yeah, that's like a near death experience, a death experience.
Tell us
I did
about it.
not see anything at all.
You
just
didn't,
gray.
you didn't float above
nothing.
you or...
No, but I heard voices, and they do say that when people die, the last sense to go, and not to be morbid, is hearing. So keep telling your loved ones that you love them.
Yeah.
You know,
So you heard everyone.
I heard people talking, but that's
And they
all.
brought you back and...
Yeah, they said, "Get back here." No, they didn't. I didn't understand any of it. I just heard sort of murmuring.
Now, how long after that happened did you have to... Because you were leaving, weren't you, that day?
I got dressed. I was leaving. Exactly. I've
And
been
then it
there 2
happened.
weeks.
Well,
you know?
thank God it happened there.
It was this is me. I'm lucky.
So there you have to look at it like that.
Oh, I do feel lucky all the time. People are like, "Oh, you have stage 4 cancer. How lucky is that?" I'm very lucky. Here I am.
There you are. So then how long do you have to stay after that?
Do what you got to do. A while. Another week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was depressing because I was ready to go home. But yeah. So I mean, the whole point of this, no one, you know, this is my personal boring stuff, but the whole point is that really you just keep going forward. Keep going forward.
You got to roll with it.
I agree. And people say to me, "Oh, I shouldn't complain to you about my headache because of your, you know, whatever, having cancer." And I thought, no, because that headache's really bothering you. And look at me, I'm having a good day.
Yeah, that's it.
So
You're inspiring to
so
all
this
of us.
is, oh, thank you so much. So this is our separate discussion here, I think.
Now we're going to get lots of questions.
Yeah, I think so. Hi, it's Jenny, and I'm at the Van Horn House in Bridgewater, New Jersey. You're watching Ghosts of Somerville TV, and we'll be right back.
The Oswego Express, Pennsylvania Railroad's coming down from New York, stops at Milford Station. It's drenching rain. It's October. It's about 8 o'clock at night. It's dark. It's raining. Visibility's low. And all you've got is that one headlight on the front of the locomotive to see by. They leave Milford Station. They're about 30 minutes behind schedule. So they step on the gas. About a quarter mile south of the station is a bridge that goes over the Quaquamisicon Creek that goes through Milford and empties out into the Delaware right there. It's a stone arch bridge. The floodwaters have washed out the stone arch bridge underneath the rails. Rails are still going across, but the bridge is gone. It gets better, dude.
Okay, so we did have a guest.
So this week's guest,
It's not in person,
Not
but
in
we
person.
did the Zoom call last night.
right? So this week's guest is Mr. Sean Flynn, and he's with Scaredy Cat Paranormal.
I love his logo.
I do too. The cat, it's all
Yeah.
free. The cat's all, it's a black cat. We'll
And
show
he
you.
is briefly, what does he do?
So Sean is very much like me. He's on a team. He's a paranormal investigator, just like me, and he's been doing it a while. He was recently featured on American Paranormal Magazine in March last year. He was on the cover. He was the cover story. He and I are very like-minded, definitely investigators. But he reached out to us because he actually had been to Somerville.
Yes.
And although he hadn't investigated some of our favorite places here, he had been here.
Yes.
And that's how we connected. So we're really pleased that Sean came on and told us his stories about going to the old Dutch parsonage, going to the Wallace House, places that you might be familiar with by now because of me with my little videos telling you this is the Wallace House. And that was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think most interesting is when he said that he felt that the Dutch parsonage had more activity.
Not the Wallace House.
Not the Wallace House, and that's exact. And he's an empath,
Yeah.
I should mention. Unlike me, he's an empath.
Now explain what that is.
So he is a sensitive. So he's empathic. He feels other people's feelings. That's just an empath. But he's also sensitive. So what's interesting is that he picked up on the fact that there was activity at the Dutch parsonage,
And not so much the
and
Wallace.
not so much the Wallace House, which is exactly correct.
As Jim says
Well
in the
done,
movie.
Sean.
You worked there how many years?
About 32 years.
32 years.
Yeah.
So I guess what everybody wants to know, over the course of the 32 years, anything...
Spectral activity. Yeah, I mean, the house, by the time I got there, had a fairly loosely but convincing history of having unusual behavior. Not the Wallace House, and there are some people who think, oh yeah, the Wallace House is haunted. There's absolutely nothing to suggest that. However, the Dutch parsonage is another story. It had years of history of people thinking they felt things, they saw things, and hearing things.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
It was interesting. It was very interesting. And the second thing that was so interesting with Mr. Flynn is he explored a New Jersey orphanage, abandoned orphanage
Yes.
in Rockley, New Jersey. That's in northern New Jersey, I believe. And we'll show you some pictures, we'll show you some video. And as a paranormal investigator, that's sort of the thing we really want to do, is that off the beaten path place that no one's ever been to. And he got permission to be there. And he had some experiences that we'll let him share.
And why do you think there's something going on there? Is it the negative pain because it's an orphanage?
Everyone thinks that, right?
Yeah.
So I think they said it was built in 1958, something like that. And Sean will tell us. It was, there's always negative, but I don't think this was a particularly bad place. Like we think of places like Penhurst Asylum in Pennsylvania as a really tough place, even though they did their best
Yeah.
to take care, of people. Or some of these hospitals, these TB hospitals, right, that were overcrowded. They were supposed to have 200 people and they end up having 3,000 people. The Waverly Hills of the world, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it was like that. I think it was just, an orphanage run by nuns and priests, and they did their best,
Yeah.
Of course, there was some, there's always bad, but more interesting to me is the activity that he experienced,
Yeah.
being there by himself.
Yes.
Disclaimer, don't go anywhere by yourself as an investigator.
Never. And
Never.
get
Don't
permission.
do it.
That was the other.
Always get permission.
Always get
Don't go by
permission.
yourself. These are two rules, unbreakable rules of paranormal investigation. But Sean, he's very experienced, obviously, and we'll let him talk about what happened there.
Yeah. Great.
It opened up in 1958. It was a home for dependent children and closed 1972.
But yeah, that place is so, and it was tough. It was tough security there because urban explorers come at nighttime, try to break in. But I guess the scariest thing that ever happened to me was I was in one room investigating, went to the hallway, and like a couple minutes later, I heard something shuffling in the room right across the hallway. I was right across the room I was in. It was shuffling. When it's shuffling.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
you
no.
just left the room?
Yeah. I left the room, and a minute later, somebody shuffling in that room.
Do you find that happens a lot to you? That you come downstairs and then you hear somebody upstairs, or you leave a room and then you hear somebody in that room?
Yeah, rarely, but that moment, like because the whole place had a lot of energy. Just walking the hallway, and like only one in the building, look around the hallway, checking things out like that. But
So you were all alone in the building?
All alone. I'm the only one in the whole building. This place
That's like every investigator's dream, and everybody else who's watching this right now is like, no way. No way.
I know.
Brian's like, all alone in the building.
Rule of thumb, you don't go by yourself, but it was during the day, so I figured it was all right,
Yeah. I mean, for safety, we don't recommend that at all.
No.
Never. But still, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing. Did you have any other activity there? No. So this was an orphanage. Was it a Catholic orphanage? Were there nuns?
Yeah, it was Catholics, but run by nuns, priests. Actually, I joined St. Francis school village on Facebook. Trying to share my stories with people. Obviously, were more interested in reminiscing. But yeah, there was one girl I talked to. She said a lot of crazy stuff happened there. Being old, run by nuns back in the day like that.
Right.
But I went to the last section was into the old chapel where nuns worked like that. I started to get my necrophonic answers like this.
There are demons.
There are demons? Where? Where are there demons?
Scottish.
Scottish, huh? Are you from Scottish descent? Move down there soon. Move down a little bit. This place is crazy big, so you can't spend too much time at each location.
What's that device?
Whoa! Holy shit! What's that device you said? Holy cow! It said, what's that device?
You said to me when I first met you that you did have sensitivity, that you were an empath, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
You consider yourself to be an empath. So when you walked into that place, how did it feel?
Oh, definitely. Someone definitely knew I was there.
Okay.
You definitely know, like okay, like you're by yourself here, like you definitely know that they know you're there.
And you were talking about the necrophonic before. That's actually an app that you can use on your phone or computer.
Yeah. Necrophonic, you download it on your phone or iPad. It's a spirit box.
It's like a spirit box, right? Exactly. That will well, necrophonic's not exactly like some spirit boxes, but it's an app on your phone. You can ask questions and you do get words out of it. So
okay, so the second thing that was so intriguing about Sean is that we received questions recently about portals. Stephen Toll, I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you for the question. You asked about portals and if I knew of any in the area. And I think that the first one that comes to mind that people think of is the Devil's Tree in Bernards Township. That's only like 10 minutes from us. It's not far at all. Have been there, have investigated there, and so has Sean. So I'll let him tell his story and we can talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, also too, like the other story was that a farmer hung himself there too.
yeah, hanged himself from one of the branches, right? And the story is that if you do harm to the tree, that harm will come to you.
Right. Hey, I won't touch the tree. I won't touch it, even though
I did touch it.
I will not touch it. I will not touch that.
I'm fine. I didn't think about it. I'm a firm believer in what you bring to it.
like you have to bring that positivity everywhere you go.
Exactly.
You know, definitely. So I'm not, you know, people always say, oh, you're scared. Do you ever get scared?
And I tend, yeah. I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Normal.
And it's funny because, and I'll go to the hospital myself, no problem. Actually, you know, except it's really dark, but like open woods like that. Forget about,
Outside is scarier than inside.
Yeah, yes, you know,
Any
come
day.
out of the woods.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And that's what makes Devil's Tree so scary, is that it's this big field too. And I think there's something scarier about that Children of the Corn type thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so my experience with Devil's Tree is similar to Sean. He said he didn't touch it. That's fine. That's your choice, kind of thing. But we agree that you bring the energy to a place. So, you know, people have this horrible, horrible feeling about the Devil's Tree, and they should, because in fact, I'm wearing my Weird New Jersey today. I always talk about my t-shirts, right? There's always a reason behind it. Weird New Jersey did a lot of investigating about it, and I trust them as a source. And in fact, there was a lot of KKK activity in Bernardsville at that time, and there were lynchings, and there were meetings there, and there was some really human evil, right? So there's a story about the farmer hanged himself on the branch, but it's really a place where there was a lot of human evil, and that's often where we find that a portal will spring up, that in theory.
Yeah.
And so supposedly it's a portal to hell, and there's a rock that never, as Sean described, there's a rock where the snow never, you know, stays on it. It melts because it's hot. I think, you know, we talked about that. It's certainly maybe a geology thing. But when you go to a place like that, I recommend bringing just all your best energy. My friend Stacy, who I investigate with, we went there and we just went, you know, I'm sorry. You know, we went there with sort of reverence.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for what happened to you. It shouldn't have happened to you. And, you know, we want to just offer you a blessing instead of, you know, hey, let's see if we can, you know, see if this is a portal to hell, which I don't recommend.
Some people take a piece of the tree with them and all kinds of things.
I think, you know, and the legend is if you harm the tree, harm will come to you. You'll get in a car accident, something like that. And, you know, you can believe what you want to believe, but let's just be safe and do the right thing and bring the right energy to it, in my opinion. Yes. But in terms of portals, that is considered one. It is literally considered a portal to hell.
Portal to hell.
Yeah. So if you want to visit Devil's Tree, you know, I do recommend it. It's a tourist attraction or something. It's considered.
Now, right?
It's sort of a park. It's an attraction.
Yeah.
And there are hours, and if you look it up, it's, you know, you can go there until 4 a.m. Go for it.
Now, why is it 4 a.m. the cutoff?
I don't know, but I think, you know, hey, if you're brave, like me, go there in the middle of the night by yourself.
What happens if you go at 4:05 a.m.?
I know.
Is something gonna
then
happen?
you're doing that gorilla thing that you do, that we don't talk about.
No.
No, but I do recommend going to see it. I mean, it's part of history, but again, bring some love, bring some reverence to that, because some bad things happen there.
Yeah. That's the part that a lot of people seem to forget.
Yeah, exactly.
They're always quick to want to make a ghost story or something.
Or a demon out of it.
And it's just like the real demon was unfortunately us.
Yeah, exactly. I will say that, like Sean, I had activity there, which is so strange, because I went there thinking this is a tree in a field. What could happen? You know, kind of thing. No expectation at all. And my equipment absolutely was registering things, and we were getting responses on it. So, yeah.
Great.
But again, let's go back to thought forms. Let's go back to everybody, and Sean's correct. Everybody's bringing that energy there.
Yeah.
This is a haunted tree, a demon tree. So do I think there's actually somebody there hunting it? No. I think we all made that haunted by thinking it.
Yep.
That's my opinion. Everybody can disagree. Let me know what you think. If there's actually maybe the ghost of somebody who was hanged there, that's a possibility. I'm not saying it's not.
Or maybe someone's been there and you have an experience.
Yeah, if you have, please. You know, this is
Let us know.
This is a local thing. It's 10 minutes from here. So
interesting stuff.
Very, very interesting. We're so grateful. Thank you, Mr. Sean Flynn, for coming on our show.
Thanks again for doing our little
really
Zoom
appreciate
call
it.
show. And So there you have it.
Anyway, have a great week. Thanks
Yep.
for watching episode
And,
4, and we'll be back with 5
we'll
soon.
see you next week.
Next time, we're going to be talking about a really, really fascinating local story here in Somerville. Speaking of hangings, unfortunately, we're going to focus on the story of Annie Beekman.
Yes.
So
Hangman's Hill.
Hangman's Hill.
Here we come.
Hangman's Hill, here we come. We'll see you then.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
ya.